definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Hey, what's happening? Happy Friday. Good morning, and welcome onto the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, and the 100.7 The Score mobile app. You can watch us on our YouTube channel there through the Double T Sports Network page. However, wherever you're joining us from, we are glad that you've chosen to make us part of your Friday, we being the End of the Bench. I'm Chois Woodman. Josh Faupel filling in for Jeff Haxton. Lucas White across the way taking care of us. You too can join us. Whatever you got. Thoughts, comments, questions, hopes, dreams, Christmas wishes. You can bring it all in on the Gates Flooring Center chat line through that 100.7 The Score mobile app. We will have a Christmas-heavy show as we sit here on Christmas Eve. Yeah, got that right. Christmas Eve, and this will be our last show we do before Christmas, so we'll throw some Christmas flavor into it. I'm a big Christmas guy. I am with Hax in that you don't infringe on the turkey's territory.
Okay.
So wait until Thanksgiving is over,
Sure.
but once it gets past, I'm all in on the Christmas, the lights, the songs, the movies, all of it. So how do you feel about the birthday of little baby Jesus?
I mean, Christmas is
it your top holiday or is it just on the list?
it's probably on the list. I don't know that I'd call it my top holiday. But
Okay.
to be fair, though, I don't know that I have just off the top of my head, I don't really have a top holiday. I guess Christmas would be it if I had to. I've never thought about what my favorite
You've
holiday-
never thought your
Okay, not
favorite
never. I don't
Okay.
think recently I've thought about what my favorite
Well,
holiday is.
if you haven't figured it out, coming on to one of these shows is like going back into your childhood.
Yeah.
I mean, so we do the things that children do.
At a certain point, Christmas stops being about Santa and getting gifts and stuff like that. And there's a specialness to that when you're a kid. That's one of the reasons Christmas is your favorite when you're a kid. But when that switch happens, I think there's something changes. Christmas has to start meaning something to you in a different way. It can't be in the same way, I think, very obviously. So I haven't, consciously gone through and seen where it places
So you obviously
after that.
you can't hear the bell. Obviously,
I
on
can't
the
hear
Polar
the bell.
Express, obviously.
You know what's funny?
So
is
that's okay.
There was, I think I was in grade school still, but there was, my teacher like shook a bell, and my mom tells this story pretty much every year, but she says that I came home and said like, no one else could hear the bell, but I could hear the bell. And I don't know what to make of that, but that was, I remember that. I don't remember if I heard it or not.
Impactful
but I
memories,
remember saying
man.
it. Yeah.
So y'all chime in with whatever you want. You can give hypothetical gifts to someone. You do whatever you want. But we'll talk some sports as well. Red Raiders beat UT Arlington yesterday to move to 9-2 on the season. They'll have a bit of a break till after Christmas and then resume action right before conference play picks up. Lady Raiders doing the same. They'll actually pick up conference play on December 30th, so still a week away from them playing. We'll get into some more conference realignment. I don't want to bore anybody, but there is still more news coming out with Florida State and the ripple effect that could have throughout college football and college athletics in general. We'll talk some football on the NFL front as there's a big weekend coming up. Dallas, it is funny how fast people jump off the train, the bandwagon, whatever, how fast people jump off. Dallas is a very slight underdog in Miami this weekend, but I have seen no one giving them a chance at all. And it's just, you had everybody all in on the Cowboys. Okay, this team could be the one. And then they go lay a complete egg in Buffalo, and it's like, okay, it's the same Cowboys team we've always seen. I still have some faith that this is a better team than recent years. I don't know that they're going to be able to get past San Francisco in particular. But I still think that there's a shot to for this team to find their way into the NFC Championship. This weekend's huge, though. This weekend's huge because to stay tied with Philly and to be able to prove it a little bit, because they've won one game against a team with a winning record at this point.
Whoa, I didn't realize that. But
that's
it.
The Eagles are the only one.
They can't really help that, though. You know, they don't.
No,
someone made a point that like someone, I think it was on the chat line yesterday. They made the point. It was like, well, they don't set their schedule, but I think you're giving them more of a shot than I do.
Okay.
In terms of NFC Championship, I'm
saying
think
get to the championship.
Yeah,
not win it.
Get to. But even that, I think that's more of a shot than I give them, and I agree that it is I think a better team than in recent years. I kind of stand by the drop off between who they are at home and who they are on the road.
That's absolute. So you really need the Eagles to lose somewhere else so the Cowboys could have home field advantage. Because you get that, then I think it's a straight path to the NFC East or the NFC Championship. If they're playing on the road in the playoffs, it gets much more murky. So, yeah, I don't disagree with.
Yeah. So I think if they do win the division and they have a pretty good shot at that, I would put it to them to make it to the NFC Championship. But as far as winning it, I think you and I are on the same page there. I don't know that they would win.
We'll update you or keep you updated on the latest with the portal potty, as the transfer portal. Not a lot of news there shifting in terms of Texas Tech, but we'll update you if you haven't been paying attention. Some more big news out of the MLB as the Dodgers spend over $1 billion this offseason. That's crazy.
That is insane.
$1 billion in the offseason.
Did they defer that contract like they did?
I haven't seen the full contract on that one. I don't think they have deferred it, but I think actually Ohtani doing the deferral allows them to make this deal.
For sure. Yeah.
Allows them to make this deal. So it's pretty crazy. I got odds on the next head coach fired in the NFL. We'll let Josh take some guesses at that. See if he can figure out who's next on the list. And we'll be ranking our top 10 Christmas movies.
Are you going to rank too?
Wait, so do you even like Christmas movies?
Yeah, okay. I do. I don't know that I have a long list, but there's a few that every year
staples.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to watch them every single year. Yeah, there's one. I mean, it's most people that listen to this show semi-consistently will know my number one, but
The Christmas Story.
No, that's not going to make the list.
It's not?
Most overrated Christmas movie out there.
That's fair. I think it's the TBS kind of
shoving it down your throat. Yeah. I mean, 24 straight hours of TBS and TNT Christmas Story. Sorry, the bunny suit. Yeah, okay.
I think they started playing part 2 now instead of they started indexing it in.
The part 2 one?
Yeah.
Is that the one they just made on recent years?
Yeah, recent years.
Never seen it.
I saw the beginning.
Any good?
Of it. It looks fine. I don't think it's. I think they try to cash in on part 1.
I would try it out. I'll give it a try, but we'll see. Y'all can chime in with your top Christmas movies, whatever you want to get to. We'll get through that throughout the show. Headlines for you next. Set up the day and the weekend. Coming up next on 100.7 The Score.
Definitely not the starters. You're on the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Back here at the First United Bank studio, you got the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. What you need to know. Part of the End of the Bench. Chois, Woodman, Josh Faupel here in the First United Bank studio. Let's start off the headlines with what happened yesterday. Texas Tech men's basketball takes down UT Arlington 77-66 yesterday as the Red Raiders somewhat rolled to a victory. There were times where it got close. I think in the second half, the closest point was a 6-point lead for the Red Raiders, but Tech able to ultimately get the victory over UT Arlington. 4 different players in double figures. Joe Toussaint had 19 points. Pop Isaacs had 18. Darian Williams went for 14. And Chance McMillan added 13 points of his own. So Red Raiders secure the victory, move to 9-2 on the season, still unbeaten in the United Supermarkets Arena. Tech will be off until December 28th. December 28th, the next game for the Red Raiders when Tech takes on Sam Houston. The Lady Raiders still off until December 30th when they open play, conference play up against the Houston Cougars in Houston. Texas Tech football added another to their transfer portal class a day after National Signing Day. Tech adds Cameron Brown. Brown, a quarterback from West Georgia. Probably never heard of the school. I hadn't. It's in the Gulf South Conference where he was tabbed as the league's Offensive Freshman of the Year. So has some good play to his name. I don't know if he's going to be a quarterback here. You're lacking some depth there. A lot of times you call them an athlete if they're not going to be at that position. So I don't know if this is just a depth move
for offensive weapon.
Yeah, I'm guessing this is a depth move for quarterback for now.
Right.
And then you probably see him end up switching to be running back, receiver, or something. Maybe even flip to the other side of the ball, be a defensive back. I have no idea. I haven't spoken to the coaching staff or anything to ask them what their plans are, but apparently a really good athlete, Cameron Brown, that's coming over for Texas Tech. NBA, the Spurs lost to the Bulls, 114-95 in Chicago. Mavs and Rockets will square off tonight at 7 o'clock for those interested. NHL, Stars beat the Canucks 4-3 in overtime, so the Stars now in third place in the Western Conference overall standings. They have the third best record in the Western Conference. And we got more bowl game action. We got bowl game action all throughout tomorrow. If you're interested, we'll have it on both stations. Today, we'll have the Gasparilla Bowl as Georgia Tech and UCF square off. This is the first Big 12 bowl game since Texas Tech played almost a week ago.
Wow.
It's kind of weird.
Yep.
Like, it's been that long between. But Gasparilla Bowl will be today as Georgia Tech, UCF go at it. Tomorrow on the bowl game schedule, we'll have Camellia Bowl, Birmingham Bowl, Armed Forces Bowl, Famous Idaho Potato Bowl, and Las Vegas Bowl. We'll have all of those for you on both 100.7 The Score and Double T 97.3. So if you're just flipping around the stations while you're doing your last-minute Christmas shopping, you can find bowl game action all day long for you. So there you go. Speaking of last-minute Christmas shopping, are you done?
I am done. Yeah.
Are you a get it done early?
No. Not typically.
Because Hacks gets mad at those people.
Really?
He doesn't want people to get their shopping done early. He says you people are stupid.
I guess I get it, but I would be more upset if I wasn't one of those people. No. I would be what am I trying to say? I am not a get it done early person. But you're done now. You don't only because I for some reason cannot place it on anything, but I text everybody early. I need your Christmas. I need your wish lists now. And this is before Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Which, if it depends, I guess, what you would consider early. No, it doesn't. I am a few days before kind of person.
We're a few days before right now?
Yeah. But I am already done.
You got it done. Okay.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. In a new survey, 89% of Americans say they bought gifts for people the very last minute.
Okay.
Meaning like going up to Christmas Day.
Wow.
The most common people we buy gifts late for are friends.
Okay.
So friends is the last one. Extended family. So if you're I mean, not going beyond.
Sure.
And then siblings. Siblings are the last ones. I think that's partially because I'm like, okay, are we still giving siblings gifts? Are we giving each other gifts still? And then you find out, oh, he got me something, so I gotta get my brother something. He pulled one of those. Like, my oldest brother did that on my birthday. He got me a bottle of bourbon for my birthday. I'm like, oh, I didn't know we're still giving each other gifts. So his birthday was before mine.
Oh, no.
Like, his birthday's like 12 days before mine.
Okay.
I'm like, oh, I got your gift. It's
at home.
I gave him his gift. His birthday was in August. I gave him his gift in November.
Oh,
so.
All right. What's the best and worst thing you've last minute bought?
Oh, man.
I think I got someone like a Roku as a very last minute gift,
That's
which isn't a bad one.
Yeah,
it's not a bad one. It's not very well thought out, and I think it was for my sister.
Man, the gift card's such an easy route.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's a bad thing. It's just
meant to be safe.
It just doesn't have
personality.
Yeah. Yeah. So let's see, worst thing.
Or give me one of them at least, because I can't think of my best.
I can't think of the best or worst. I'm not a last minute guy.
Oh, you're a get it done early.
Yeah, get it done early. The only time I'll do last minute is if we're looking for just a few things to add.
Sure. Okay.
So
you do stockings too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. So we're pretty quick shoppers. We'll buy gifts in like March for Christmas. If we see something that we're like, oh, this will fit.
Yeah, okay.
We'll tuck them away and hold on to them. And then it's like Christmas all over again when you get to November and start looking for Christmas. Oh, I forgot we bought this.
You ever double gift because you forgot you
totally like, oh man, we already had something for this person. Oh well.
Awesome.
Dallas says, going back to the Ohtani contract, that deferral business is straight jacked up. There should be rules in place that makes it illegal to defer that much of a contract.
Players and owners agreed to it, so
yeah. I mean, I don't know what else you can do, Dallas. Dallas says, I'm 49 years old and have never watched A Christmas Story. I tried once, but it was so slow and boring, I just couldn't. Wow.
It does have highs, but it otherwise, I think narration, by and large, is a kind of a cop-out in a lot of movies.
Okay.
And I think in A Christmas Story could do without the narration.
I don't disagree with that. It is Chris Sneed's like favorite movie by far. Mm. And I trash him for it all the time just because it's overrated. Very, very overrated. I mean, it's not the worst Christmas movie out there. Sure. I'm not going to try to tab it as that, but it's not worth putting on 2 different stations for 24 straight hours.
I didn't realize it was on TNT also.
Yeah, it's both.
Wow.
It is definitely both. Because I know I flipped over and I wonder if TNT has a Christmas Day basketball game. Nope. Christmas Story there.
Story.
There's a comment on conference realignment. We're about to wrap the segment, so we'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. Florida State, Clemson, that sort of thing. So we'll dabble in that. Coming up at 10 o'clock, we'll give our top 10 Christmas movies lists ourselves. We'll talk some more Texas Tech hoops. What this team can do going into league play. Have we seen enough to be confident, to lose confidence? Y'all chime in on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. We'll get into all that.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Onward to hour number 2. It's the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score, 107thescore.com, with the 100.7 The Score mobile app. Brought to you, as always, by Happy State Bank. Alongside Josh Faupel, I'm Chois Woodman, Lucas White. Across the way, taking care of us. Keep the thoughts, comments coming in. There's a basketball question. We'll get to that coming up in just a little bit. But obviously more important than sports on Christmas Eve. We've got our Christmas movie top 10 at 10 o'clock. You're the guest here, so I'm gonna let you go first.
Okay.
If you got it.
Yeah, I got it.
Start with 10 and
Start with 10
and work your way up.
Okay, so I think people are going to judge me more harshly on a particular movie that I left out, and this is the reason that I left this movie out.
Oh,
is because my number 10 is Rambo.
I had a feeling you would have one of these lists, so
that's the only one of these
Rambo
kinds of movies, though.
At Chris, okay. I love Rambo, so
yeah.
I'm not gonna.
But because I put that movie in, there's another movie that you'll figure out is not in my top 10.
I already know it's Die Hard, but
yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay, number 9, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
It's a solid one.
Yep. Number 8, Last Christmas, which is an Emilia Clarke movie. It's kind of a Hallmark movie, but
okay.
I'm a fan.
Okay.
And it has a kind of a twist to it that I really liked. Trading Places, comedy.
Okay.
I'm a fan. I like it. A Very Merry Muppet Christmas Movie.
So this is not the Muppet Christmas Carol? This is a different one.
That might be the one, actually.
Oh,
so that
okay.
might be the one I'm thinking of. It's the one, there's Chef and the bird there. I don't remember. I never remember the bird's name.
Okay.
But we might be thinking about the same one. That might be the one.
Okay.
I just looked up the movie, but there's going to be a ton of
Sure.
Muppet Christmas movies. The Grinch, particularly Jim Carrey.
Okay.
The Jim Carrey Christmas. The Grinch. Elf, number 4. Nightmare Before Christmas at number 3. Santa Claus is Coming to Town at number 2.
Oh, I don't like that one.
You don't like that one? Okay. And then Miracle on 34th Street at number 1.
Of the claymations, wait. No. I do like Santa Claus is Coming to Town. So which Miracle on 34th? Sorry.
I've only seen parts of the original.
Okay, so you're going the newer one.
Yeah, I think. I think only because I've seen it probably more in the complete.
That's your number one. Is Miracle on 34th.
Yeah.
So you left off 3 of the most important
I left
movies.
off It's a Wonderful Life. Which other ones did I leave off?
The Home Alones.
Yeah.
Christmas Vacation.
Oh, National Lampoon.
Yeah.
Chevy Chase doesn't do it for me.
Okay. Fair enough. Wow.
Except for Community. I think he's fantastic in
But
Community.
you love Community.
Yes.
I still haven't seen that. I need to watch it. All right, Lucas, I'll let you go next.
Polar Express.
10. Okay.
It's a Wonderful Life. White Christmas.
Boo.
Miracle on 34th Street.
Nice.
Bad Santa. The Santa Claus.
Okay.
Home Alone 2. Elf. Nightmare Before Christmas. Home Alone.
So disappointed in you people. Still no Christmas Vacation. Okay. Mine is a little more similar to his, but I've got a mixture.
Sure.
All right, I'm going to start with the honorable mentions. Miracle on 34th Street.
Okay.
Just
Which one, since you were asking
the
me?
newer one.
Okay.
I never could get into the old one. I don't know. Christmas with the Cranks.
Okay.
Just Friends.
Okay.
Have you seen it?
I've seen I think it's like the Friends with Benefits one. That's
No, this one's different. This one is Ryan Reynolds and who's the...
I'm confusing 2 movies then.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
No, Just Friends.
Okay. No, then I don't know which one that is.
The Grinch, the Jim Carrey version.
Nice.
Honorable mention. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and the Charlie Brown Christmas. Those are all honorable mentions.
Charlie Brown Christmas I should have put in there.
Where would it slide
I
in?
think if I had to redo my list, I'd probably push off Rambo and I'd put it in between Nightmare Before Christmas and Elf.
So it would be top 5.
It would be my number 4 at that point, and it would push everything down.
Okay, so those are all honorable mentions. At number 10, I've got Jingle All the Way.
Okay.
With Arnold Schwarzenegger. Number 9, Gremlins.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a Christmas movie.
Yeah.
Number 8, It's a Wonderful Life. Number 7, The Star.
I don't know what that movie is.
Most people don't. It's a animated movie, but it's actually about the real Christmas story. It's like it takes the animal's perspective on the birth of Jesus.
Okay.
So it's a comedy kids-ish movie, but it's really good. And it's the voice actors in it. There's tons of people you would know.
Okay.
Tons of people. 6, The Santa Claus. 5, Die Hard.
Okay.
4, Elf. 3, Home Alone 1,
Right.
2, Home Alone 2,
And then National Lampoon.
and then National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, which is one of the best movies of all time. Definitely the best Christmas movie of all time. Agree, disagree, whatever you want on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Bring those in. Steven says Last Christmas is awesome. Haven't seen it. Should I add it to my Christmas movie list? Is it
I
worth
think
it?
it's a worthy watch.
Okay.
I think especially, I don't know if the kids would be into it, but I think the wife would be into it. So
Okay.
I went to the theater, I think by myself, just because I like going to movies.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a movie I really enjoyed.
So I have a list right here of Christmas movies. I keep a running movie list
Yeah.
all the time because people always tell me I haven't watched enough movies.
Aren't you like particularly proud of your DVD collection?
Well, I have a huge DVD collection. I haven't seen probably 200 of them.
Okay.
So, and most of them I inherited from the wife.
Aren't some
Okay.
still in the wrapping?
There are some in the wrapper still, for sure. So here's my list of Christmas movies I haven't seen that I'm going to try to get to
Okay.
in the next 3 days, but definitely not going to get to all of them. Spirited is the new Ryan Reynolds, Will Ferrell one.
Oh, okay.
It came out like a year or two ago. But
Sure.
has anybody seen it? I think it's an Apple TV Plus one. Haven't watched it. Scrooged, still never seen that one with Bill Murray. Prancer, nope, still nothing. Bad Santa, never seen it, but I need to. Violent Night.
That's one of the ones that
Do you want to see it?
I think I would see it if it came on like USA or something like that.
Okay, I think it's out streaming somewhere. I think it is streaming somewhere, so I don't know. The Muppet Christmas Carol. Never seen it. I need to try it. And then I just added Last Christmas. So
Okay.
we'll attempt to get to some of these. Last Christmas is Sandra Bullock.
No, the one that I'm thinking of is Amelia Clark.
Okay. Bullfighter says Sandra Bullock, so I don't know what that one is.
Okay. So we might be thinking of different movies.
Well,
I need to make sure mine.
He says Sandra Bullock is. I don't know.
Let me make sure mine is what I'm thinking of.
So there you go. There's our Christmas top tens. No, Sandra Bullock is While You Were Sleeping, Bullfighter, which is Christmas movie-ish. It's like my wife's favorite.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
Happy Friday, y'all. It's the End of the Bench. 30 minutes left with the program here on 100.7 The Score and 107thescore.com. We'll give away to the bottom line at that time. Chois, Woodman, Josh Faupel here in the First United Bank studio. Keep the thoughts and commentary rolling in. Get your questions in. A few in so far on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Ask the Benchwarmers coming up at 11:45. Get to that here in a moment or two. All right, I promised you this an hour ago. So I got some new college football odds. Not college football, pro football odds. Next coach fired. Let's see how good you are at this. You're an NFL guy.
Ron Rivera.
Well done. And he is a heavy favorite. 1 to 2 odds.
Wow.
So you have to bet basically $100 to win 50.
If they lose to the Jets, he's gone.
I like Ron Rivera. I do. Don't know how great of a coach he actually is, but I didn't like when he went to Washington because I didn't think it was a good situation.
Yeah, I didn't see any benefit there, truly.
I was hoping he would find a different job, but at the same time, there's only 32 of those jobs, and you have to take what comes to you. So Rivera is number 1 next on the list.
Oh, we're going to keep going. Let me...
Are you Googling this? You cheating?
No, I'm looking at the list of NFL coaches. Actually, let me just name mine real quick. If I'm going to pick surprise fires, Sean McDermott is actually on my surprise fire.
This isn't surprise. This is
Yeah, I
spoilers.
know, but
Okay.
And then Jonathan Gannon is probably my other. If there's going to be a one and done.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see who would be next. Arthur Smith.
Well done. He is number 2 on the list. Falcons head coach.
Yeah. Who would be after that? I'm looking at the years they were hired. Also, I'm just on Wikipedia.
That matters
So
sometimes.
Yeah. A coach has to do very poorly to go one and done, or like 2 years in. Who would be next?
Or just be a sacrificial lamb.
Yeah,
which at times.
If the GM is gone, the coach is most likely gone also.
Lots of times, yeah.
Who would be number 3?
It's a surprising name.
And somehow, sorry?
Semi-surprising name.
Surprising name. Semi-surprising. Kevin O'Connell?
Is it Mike Vrabel?
Neither of those two.
3
and 4 are very long-tenured head coaches.
Oh, is it
Tomlin?
Mike Tomlin?
Tomlin is 4. Bill Belichick is 3.
He was on my surprise as well, but I started feeling less and less confident about.
That's what I said, semi-surprise.
Yeah.
So Belichick 3, Tomlin 4. Their odds are a little lighter though, 13 to 2 and 7 to 1 odds there.
Todd Bowles might be somewhere.
Not on the
there.
list.
Okay.
So 5, 6, 7, Robert Saleh.
Yeah. Okay.
The Jets guy, Dennis Allen, and Matt Eberflus.
I don't know who Eberflus is.
He's the Bears, right? Yeah, Bears head coach.
Okay.
So I'm actually surprised his name's not higher on the list. I guess they're riding with him until
I should know who that is.
Until next year. Yeah, he is your
rival.
But that's okay. I couldn't name everybody in the NFL.
Well, the Bears just go through them so fast.
They do. They're the one of those. So then you could bet Mike Tomlin's position in 2024. Heavy favorite to be coaching the Steelers. Second option in the media. Third is taking a year off. Or fourth is coaching another team.
I think he'd go to a team immediately. I don't think he'd take he doesn't seem like a media guy. But
the Chargers would welcome him with open arms.
This is for Lucas. Next, Chargers head coach. Any guess at who number 1 on the list is?
Ron Rivera.
Is it Harbaugh?
It is Jim Harbaugh. 2 to 1 odds there. Number 2 on the list, Bill Belichick. Belichick to go to the Chargers. Ben Johnson, Kellen Moore. You'd get the same exact thing you've had this year if you get Kellen Moore. Frank Smith, Bobby Slowick, Eric Bieniemy, Lincoln Riley, Ryan Day. Next on there. Dan Quinn. Okay.
I think it's more likely Dan Quinn gets the Cowboys job and they fire McCarthy.
I don't think that's happening this year.
No, I don't think so. But I think before the Cowboys let Dan Quinn leave, if people started interviewing him, they would fire McCarthy and give Dan Quinn the head coaching job.
Deion Sanders 50 to 1 odds, and Philip Rivers 100 to 1 odds to take the Chargers head coaching job. You can also
a tenner in there.
Bet Bill Belichick's team in 2024. This only pays if he is not with the Patriots. Chargers are 2 to 1 odds. Commanders 3 to 1. Panthers, Bears, Raiders, Saints. So there you go. Duh, Bears. So for the Cowboys specifically, Dallas plays Miami this weekend.
Yes.
If the Cowboys win, what does it do to your perception of the Cowboys? If they lose, what does it do to your perception of Dallas? Because you're an outsider as far as I have my Cowboys glasses, which sometimes I can be very biased one direction or the other, thinking they're worse than they are because they're the Cowboys, or they're better than they are because they're the Cowboys. So you're more on the outside from a Cowboys perspective. What does this weekend's result matter at all?
The Cowboys are in an unfortunate position for me particularly, because if they lose, it kind of doubles down on my perspective of them not
winning away from home.
Being different teams, and just the drop off or the fall off of away from home. And if they win, and this is what I mean when I say unfortunate position, because it's like, well, okay, yeah, can you keep doing this, or can you? They would have to dominate the line of scrimmage for me to, I think, really make that switch in my head.
Sure.
And it would have to be on both sides of the ball, because I think one of the big things that happened last game was they were able to get to Dak Prescott, and not that any part of the team played particularly well, or I'm probably remembering that wrong, but
yeah,
it would take line domination for me to flip that switch in my head. because that would be a road win. That would be dominance. That's probably what it would take for me.
Okay. So if you see them win and then see within the game, then what does it shift them to? A contender?
I think they win
Super Bowl contender?
It would probably no. I think it would convince me they're going to win it, make it to the NFC Championship. I'd probably say that like if they win this game in a fashion, as long as they don't look terrible out there, I still have them winning the division, winning a game at home.
See, that's the thing. If you're saying, okay, the Cowboys are not a top 5 team or a top 6 team in the league, then who are you putting ahead of them at this point? It just hadn't been a dominant year for really outside of San Francisco, outside of the Ravens. The Cowboys are on the same plane right now with, as of right now, Philly and Detroit, and there's a lot of teams that are very similar right now.
If I'm talking about teams likely to make it to the playoffs, the Cowboys are in my top 5. If we're just going for like the best teams, I think Buffalo really found their answer, but I don't know that they'll make it to the playoffs. And the Buffalo's keeping them out of my top 5.
Yeah, right now, if the Cowboys win on Sunday, they're in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It secures the playoff spot. I mean, they've got, where we have 3 games left. 3 games left. And you secure the playoff spot with a win. So, I don't know. I don't know what to expect Sunday because, again, my biased Cowboys fan in me, there's the cynic that's, okay, this is Cowboys. They don't beat good football teams. They have really good records, but it's usually beating up on bad football teams. And Miami is in that top 5 conversation in the NFL right now. But there's the other part of me that's like, hey, this version of Dak Prescott's the best one we've seen since at least his rookie year. Not the best he's done in the league. This is one of the best offenses in the country. This team can compete. So I'm very keyed in on what happens on Sunday in Miami. Y'all can keep chiming in. Someone says, playing? I think that's still in question. I don't know. Someone says they're pretty sure the Cowboys have already clinched a playoff spot. I don't know if they've clinched. I think they're all but clinched, but I'm not sure. It's possible.
It's a very big difference if he's playing or not.
Yeah, it's a big difference. Get your questions in. Ask the Benchwarmers to close it down. Coming up next on 100.7 The Score.
Playing time is not required. This is the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score.
It is time for Ask the Benchwarmers. Bring your questions in. Plenty of room for you on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. There's a few questions in so far. You can tweet us at 107 The Score or dial us up on the Visual Edge IT hotline if you want to go to the front of the line. 806-771-0973. He's Josh Faupel. I'm Chois Woodman. Lucas White across the way taking care of us. If you don't get any more questions in on the chat line, Clint has sent me a bunch of questions right now, and I'm going to have to read his. So y'all bring your questions in, please. There's a few in so far.
Have you seen a dog bowl?
It is not that, actually. It is, thank goodness, no. Thank you to listeners. I had totally misread or something. The Cowboys have clinched a playoff spot, so there's no likely making the playoffs. They are in as of now. 49ers, Cowboys, Eagles, all in as of right now. So
very good.
Good for the Cowboys. Benchwarmers, would you sacrifice 3 straight losing seasons for a trip to the college football playoff, kind of like what TCU is doing right now? Well, I mean, we've only seen one season on the other side for TCU, so we can't call it 3 straight for them. But would it be worth it?
As long as I didn't know that was the case.
Man, I don't know.
I don't know that I would because I would rather dance around the big victory than win one and just never. Again.
I feel like if the 3 straight seasons were before it, it would be better than after it.
Oh yeah.
Like, you can live with the build-up of crap to awesomeness. But knowing that it's on the other side, be like, what has gone wrong? I think that'd be way worse. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing that. If taking the trade-off genie here, I'm not doing it on the other side, because then you're just feeling terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, that was one good season, and it's crap. Because college football, we live in the moment so much.
Oh, yeah.
We do. So you're sacrificing one really high would be awesome, but for 3 years of mess, I don't want to live through that for 3 years. I would much rather take some chances at 8 and 9 win seasons over the next few years, and then maybe elevate beyond that. But no, the answer's no for me. And I absolutely hope that TCU does just that. Has another 5-7 season and a 4-8 season the next 2 years. Would be lovely. I used to be a Sonny Dykes guy, but he turned on his university. So, sorry. Not just by going to TCU, but his comment sense, and no thanks. Benchwarmers, best Christmas gift you ever received? That's tough.
I smooth talked my way into an original Xbox one time.
All right.
Yeah.
Original Xbox.
Yeah.
Like when it was still relevant.
Yeah. When it was
not,
at the time.
Not last year.
Like year of. I
remember playing that Xbox the first time, the original Xbox, and playing the Madden and thinking, man, look at these graphics. These are amazing. And then look at those graphics from then now. It's like, well, what's with all the points and the blocks all over the people?
A good example is Max Payne, which is a day one game for Xbox. And it's literally like a polygon. It's literally just a flat it's literally just a flat face with
crazy,
Sam
isn't
Lakes
it?
like making a face, and it's the same face the whole game.
Crazy.
And I remember thinking, I was like, this looks amazing.
I remember when I got a DVD player, when DVD players were still you couldn't go to Walmart and get one for $20. It was still like 80 or 90 or $100. And I was like, man, I got my own DVD player, and that was a big deal. It was probably like circa 2001. That I remember. I don't know. Anytime I've got a gun for Christmas, I get excited. So maybe that. It's hard to. I don't know. It's hard. My wife gave me, when we were dating, she gave me an autographed picture of Nolan Ryan where he's punching Robin Ventura, and that one was high up there. That might have been the moment I'm like, she's a keeper. I'm going to keep this one. She understands me. Benchwarmer, Santa gives you $1 million, but you got to spend it in one day. You're helping others or being selfish and spending it on yourself. Can I do both? Like, I could spend $1 million on both in one day. Like, it wouldn't be that hard. I can go buy some cars and go buy some things. I guess you can't buy a house in one day. It's a little hard to do.
Yeah.
Close on a house. Do you, what are you doing?
I would, the unfortunate part of having a conscience is as much as you want to be selfish, you find it really difficult to be in like when it's really available. Like someone asked me what my 3 wishes would be, and I was like, man, I want to be selfish, but like one of them would be, and then I do have a couple that are like very not selfish kind of stuff. And so I would probably help as much as I could.
Yeah.
I would take care of me first, though.
Yeah, I mean, there's no question. I'm going to do both.
Yeah.
If you had to do one or the other,
I would help others.
I would do the help. Yeah.
And I would.
If there's the option, if you can't do a little of both, I'm going to help. I'll find a place to give the $1 million pretty easily.
And don't get me wrong, I would be clenching my fists the whole time. I would feel good about it, but I would the fact that I couldn't use any of this for myself, I would be white knuckled the whole time.
3 straight losing seasons, the coach would be fired before he could enjoy it. Yeah, if you're saying leading up to it.
Yeah, that's
in today's world,
true.
That's probably true. To win it all, Texter Gary says, to win it all, sign me up at almost any cost. I'd give my left arm for a national title. I would. That wasn't the question, though. It said college football playoff, because that's where it compares to TCU. If you win a national title, you give it all. I mean, I think Mavs fans that had like 10 years of suck after their title, most people still say that. I hope this doesn't happen, but the Rangers winning it all finally one time, if I traded, several years of terribleness for that, and you kind of did leading up to it, then it's worth it. It is to get all of it, to win it all, but not just to get there. not just to get to college football playoff. You're essentially living in that scenario in basketball right now. Been pretty tumultuous since the national championship appearance. Not quite.
The Bears have been in that situation. They went to a Super Bowl and then made it to an NFC championship and have done absolutely nothing since then.
Yeah, so I'm gonna say not quite on the national championship though. You got to a national championship game, but you still went back to a Sweet 16 territory you've barely seen as a program 2 years ago. Last year was atrocious. You missed the tournament again this year, then it's getting into that territory. But you've made the tournament several times since then. Made Sweet 16s, made the tournament. So not quite Bobby Hot Dogs, but I get the idea.
The lead up does feel pretty good too. Like, I mean, it sucks to be eliminated in those playoff games and like in tournament and stuff like that. But it still feels good when you're getting there. You know, losing seasons just suck.
This one's from Clint. Sorry, people. Benchwarmers, if an animal you owned had a light up nose, would you take him to the vet or try to make money off of it?
Ooh, why not both?
What a Clint question.
Yeah. Or if you had to do one or the other. Oh, another selfish thing.
Yeah, definitely making money off of it. Making money off the dog or animal, whatever. Benchwarmers, what's the worst part of the holiday season? Selfishness.
I'll be really honest. If we did away with gifts altogether, I'd be fine with it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoy spending money is stressful, full stop.
And I think that's probably, I would agree with you. Like the overdoing it with spending on people is probably, we've gone to the point, I have a large family on my side. We've gone to the point where we just draw a name from a hat and you buy for one person. Mm-hmm. Like spend $50 on one person is essentially. The guys buy for the guys, the girls buy for the girls. And that's what we go. We buy for the kids. Yeah. And then for adults, that's it. So you don't have the stresses of overspending and stuff.
I imagine it's very different with people who have kids. They enjoy they enjoy providing for their kids and like giving look on their faces and stuff like that. For me personally, we fully do away with gifts. I'd be fine with that.
A couple of people, DVD player with Rush Hour 2 back in the day. That was awesome. Best gift, original Super Nintendo. Was hooked up on the morning we came out. Mom was against all video games, so it's still crazy to me. Ooh, Super Nintendo. That was awesome. That's going to do it for us. Josh, thanks for filling, man, and have a Merry Christmas.
Thanks for having me.
For Josh Faupel and for Lucas White, I'm Chois Woodman. Appreciate all you all year long. Appreciate you tuning in and letting us get to do what we love to do, have fun. Remember the true reason for the Christmas season. That's the birth of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. Y'all have a great Christmas and a Happy New Year if we don't hear from you till then. It's been the End of the Bench on 100.7 The Score.
This has been the End of the Bench podcast from 100.7 The Score. Go to 107thescore.com for more from the Double T Sports Network.